Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Yo, hi guys, welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about why the fuck are people still using online forums, Reddit, and Discord? Why the fuck are people using it in 2026 of all places? I mean, come on, 2026? You're still using online forums, Reddit and Discord like it's the late 90s and early to mid 2000s. Come on, it's getting old. But we're going to talk about that and so much more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, tip, and commission me for a photo shoot. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe. Please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut-based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook. So if you guys value your right to freedom of speech like I do, and you guys want to be able to say stuff without the fear of being blocked, suspended, deplatformed, or censored, well then, ladies and gentlemen, head on over to my friends at Minds.com. So, guys, I do have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with Burner. Burner is the less lethal self-defense company, guys. They make their top of the line Burner SD, Burner LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest, guys, their compact launcher. So if you guys value your right to the Second Amendment, your right to self-defense, but you guys want to do it in a less lethal manner, well then, ladies and gentlemen, head on over to my friends at Burner.com. And full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, I own a Burner LE pistol myself. And finally, guys, I have this awesome, and seriously, I have this most awesome affiliate link with North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore Medical Supply, they make their top of the line North Shore Megamax diaper, North Shore Supreme pull up, their North Shore Supreme diapers, and their Eterna boosters, guys. So if you know somebody out there that needs to wear adult diapers and that needs to be put in adult diapers like I am, guys, well then, ladies and gentlemen, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, and they will make sure that they are diapered up and padded up as always. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Holy man, that was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am diapered up as always. So I am diapered up in my North Shore Megamax diapers with my Eterna boosters. And today I'm just in a t-shirt day because it's getting hot, humid. And yes, afterwards I gotta bum out and go to work. So I gotta do that. So I'm diapered up, padded up. Let's get on with the show, shall we? So today I want to talk about this one topic that got me burned lately, okay? Why the fuck are people still using online forums, Reddit, and Discord like if it's the late 90s and early to mid 2000s? Why? Because you know why? People want that nostalgia shit. People want to relive those days of like online forums, Reddit, and Discord were like the shit show. Now we're in 2026. Elon Musk owns X. X is moving in the right direction. At the same time, podcasting is taking off again because people are finding out that podcasting is becoming more popular now, more mainstream. You got blog platforms like what? Substack, WordPress. They're taking off like if it's no tomorrow. Telling you, ladies and gentlemen, telling you, I got burned with online forums and Reddit and Discord. I got burned with them. I've been on every online forum, Reddit, and Discord. Got burned so much, ladies and gentlemen, that why the fuck are we still using those platforms anyway? Because those platforms have become very tribal, very clicky, very closed circled. Okay, and if you don't follow the group think, the group mentality, and all that, they ostracize you, they out you, they run you out. So why the fuck are we using them anyway? Because you know why, ladies and gentlemen? Like I said earlier, it's because of the nostalgia. Because the people that are on it still want to live like if it's the late 90s, early into mid 2000s, okay? Think of it this way. Reddit's been around since what? The 90s or late 90s. Online forums have been around since like what? The mid 90s. Discord didn't come around until the mid 20s in 2015. Basically, guys, those platforms are old. Those platforms are as old as fucking MySpace. If y'all don't know what MySpace is, go ask your Gen X who was on it, including me. But quite frankly, guys, I, I'm sick and tired of like having to go onto an online forum, trying to speak my mind, speak my opinion, and then to get run out by these people. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, online forums, Reddit and Discord have become so tribal, so clicky, so close circled that just to speak your mind and speak freely, you get run out. You get like basically burned. You get basically like wrecked. But the problem is these people who are still on these online forums, Reddits, or Discord, they're trying to relive the between the 90s in 2015. They're trying to relive that era. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that ship has sailed. That ship has literally fucking sailed. It has sailed so long ago that now I consider those platforms to be old relics, like basically from a bygone era. It's like ancient. It's like as old as like your VCR and your Walkman and your first gen cell phone and your first gen pager. They're as old as fuck, ladies and gentlemen. They really are. And here's the problem with a lot of these online forums, okay? Here's the real problem with it is that they've become very cliquey, very tribal, very like closed circle, okay? Especially Reddits and Discords and basically online forums. They've become so cliquey. It's like, I'll give you an example. I was on one online forum and I'm gonna say this, I'm probably gonna make some enemies and I don't give a shit because I'm right now like what, 50 years old? I don't care if I make enemies because at this point I'm at the halfway point of my life. So there's a Reddit slash Discord group called the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. They have like a cliquey group on Reddit, and not only Reddit but also on Discord. So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is why groups like that, okay, have become nothing more than endless echo chambers, endless, you know what I mean? Endless like scrolling and so much toxicity that if it were ever to get shown in public, if the public were ever to see what these members actually think, do, and believe and espouse, trust me, it wouldn't take 2 seconds for them to get hauled in front of Congress, in front of like what, Senator Richard Blumenthal, who's the head of the Homeland Security Committee in Washington. It wouldn't take that long. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this, guys. Those types of forums I've been on have become toxic. Have become like basically so toxic, so much echo chambering that you can't even get a discussion going. You can't even ask a simple question. You can't even talk about your experiences, your opinions, your viewpoints, your beliefs. You can't even talk about that shit. Because if you try on any of the forums that have had bad, horrible, horrific experiences, including Reddit and Discord, you get run out. You get chased out. You get like pushed out. You get like you basically get dogpiled. Okay? You basically get shit on. Okay? You get shit on to the point where they try to use your social media profile against you. They try to use any tweets, posts that you like against you. But then the problem is I see is like this. If they can't defend what they're arguing, then they have a problem with that. But this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a huge I'll say this to the cows come home. Online forums, Reddits, and Discords have become nothing more than echo chambers, have become nothing more than toxic havens, have become nothing more than platforms for group think, group ideology, or basically like this. Basically their own piss chamber. That's all it is. And to get a discussion, it's like the fuck, man. Yeah. That's why it's like this. I see I see every online forum, Reddit, and Discord as nothing more than toxic chambers and toxic echo chambers. Basically, it's like this. Reddit now has become like a leftist echo chamber. And it makes me wonder, why would the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and the United States Coast Guard have a Reddit page? Because it's becoming nothing more than a toxic chamber amongst themselves. It's become a toxic echo chamber because this is why I've often said this is that there are deep state actors within this federal government. People who don't believe or espouse the views of the current administration or the current government, and they work to undermine the current administration and the current government. This is why I see Reddits, Discords, and online forums working against the government. Quite simply, guys, quite simply, in my opinion, I have to ask this question. Why the fuck is the US government having its own, having Reddit pages, Discord pages, and online forum pages? Ask that question. Ask that question for yourself. Why is it that governments and government agencies have their own like like online forums, Reddit pages, and Discord pages? Are they trying to subvert the United States government in a way that hides it? Because if they are, someone in Congress needs to look into this within 5 seconds. Someone in Congress really needs to look at it. But to me, guys, let's just say like this: the fact that a lot of these echo chambers, which I call them, a lot of these forums that are now what I call echo chambers, and nothing more endless doom scrolling and so much toxicity, so much clickiness, so much closed circled. You wonder why people like me are burned. You wonder why people like me are pissed. You wonder why people like me don't even want to do anything with online forums, Reddits, and Discord. This is why many of us, including me, are like sick and tired of it. We're sick and tired of all these online forums, Reddits, and Discord. We're sick and tired of all the toxicity, all the endless scrolling, all the like echo chambers, okay? Or all these endless clicky groups that if you don't fall in line with a group think, you get shoved out, you get run out, you get pushed out. Instead of like, oh, you have your own opinion? That's great. But the problem is, I run into groups, Reddits, and Discords that are like that. And then it makes me wonder, why the fuck do I want to be on these platforms? Why the fuck do I want to ask questions or ask help on forums, Reddits, or Discord? Why the fuck? Because you know why? Because toxicity, because endless doom scrolling, clickiness, closed circle, okay? And then you got this other one, which is what? Echo chambers of themselves? Can't even get a discussion going. You can't even get a simple, oh, I need help. I have a question. But then all of a sudden they dogpile on you. This is seriously why in 2026 I'm officially done with online forums, Reddits, and Discord. I'm officially done. The straw that broke the camel's back for me was the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliaries Reddit and Discord pages. That broke the straw. That broke my back. That broke me to the point where I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm completely done. Finito. Finish. You know? It's like, why go on a platform that is basically what? So outdated, so old fashioned that makes you wonder why everybody else has moved on, but these people are still fucking stuck in the damn past. Yeah, makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. But this is why it's like this, guys. The shift is now onto like platforms like X because Elon Musk owns it now. He's the owner of the company. So now he has stake. He has stake in the company's stock. He owns the company outright. So he is the owner. He brought it out. So X has changed. Prior to Elon Musk owning it, it was the left's own echo chamber. And now that Elon Musk brought it, the left has no other echo chambers left. Okay, other than Blue Cry. All right, yeah. But the fact of the matter is also, guys, you got people like me who are shifting away from online forums, Reddits, and Discord. We're shifting away from that. It's 2026. Why are you still using those old, ancient platforms? I don't use it. I don't want to use it. And you know what? Because I got burned and it finally broke the camel's back and said, nope, that's it. We're done. We're never going to touch an online forum. I see an online forum, I go like this, pass. I see a Reddit, pass. I see a Discord, goodbye. It's that simple. Now you got people like me, okay, who are switching to like what? Podcasting, who are switching back to blogging using Substack. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, trust me. The people who still use online forums, Reddits, and Discord are clinging to the past. People like me are moving forward, shifting away from those platforms. Those people who are still using it are probably what? Diehard leftists, okay? Diehard lefties. But people like me, we shifted away. We're going to other platforms. We're going to platforms that respect my opinion, respect my viewpoints, respect my beliefs. We're going to those platforms that espouse people's viewpoints, beliefs. Hell, on X, I can agree and disagree on a lot of things and be an adult about it, but every now and then I just get an immature brat who can't learn to agree and disagree, but then resorts to like name calling, bullying, or picking on my profile picture. They just get an instant cock blocked and reported for spam and be done with it. But podcasting, for example, guys, I get to speak my voice. I get to say my opinion. I get to say my belief. I get to say things without fear of being blocked, suspended, deplatformed, or censored. Because you know why? My podcast show goes global. It goes globally around the world. So basically, it's like this. I'm canceled culture proof. And same thing with blogging. I can blog my opinions, say my viewpoints, say my beliefs. Okay? I could say almost anything and I wouldn't care what. Because you know why? I use the Dan Bongino rule. Okay? I go like this. I don't care about your feelings. It's facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. But the fact of the matter is, people are migrating to that. Substack which is the newer one, people are going to that as well. Substack has become very popular, okay? Very, very popular because a lot of people who've gone from Blogger, WordPress to Substack. For me, I keep WordPress as my main web page, okay? But Substack has become where my podcast show gets aggregated to and stuff that I like as well. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, I basically have other avenues where I can go to talk, discuss, and ask for things. But on whatchamacallit, online forums, Reddits, and Discords, they become like tribal echo chambers in a tribe of toxicity that it's like, how the fuck are you gonna get a conversation going? How the fuck are you gonna be able to talk to people these days? Because here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. These people are still stuck on the old ways. Okay, old ways are great to an extent, but then the problem is, old ways have given rise to assholes and idiots and stupid motherfuckers who basically don't know what they're talking about, what they're saying, okay? Who basically don't. But to me, ladies and gentlemen, I've completely gave up on online forums, Reddits, and Discord. I gave up on them so much that you will never ever catch me on an online forum ever again. You'll never ever catch my face on there. You'll never ever see me posting there. You'll never, because you know why? I'll never get the respect. I'll never I'll never be able to have my opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs validated. Never. So what's the point of having an online forum and an online discussion when you can't get any of those, but I can get those on X, on podcasting, blogs like WordPress, and Substack. I can get those, but I can never get those on a online forum like Reddit and Discord. Never. So it's more like becoming like the old style echo chamber. But now in 2026, X has become the dominant force. So has podcasting, blogs like WordPress and Substack have become the dominant force. Have. Because you know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because on those platforms, you can say all the shit you want, and no one's going to censor your ass. No one. Hell, I have X. I'm able to say shit. I have podcasting. I have my WordPress blog, and then I have my Substacks. Trust me, I'm able to speak freely and say stuff freely without fear of being blocked, suspended, or deplatformed or criticized. I'm able to say that. Plus, here's a little dirty little secret, guys. I'm on so many alternative social media platforms that it's fucking hard to cancel my ass. It's fucking hard to ridicule my ass. Because you know why? You ridicule my ass and people on those platforms see that, you get body slammed faster than Hulk Hogan doing a leg drop on your ass. Yeah, because I'll tell you this, I'm on what? Gab, MeWe, Minds, Getter, Parler, Rumble. I'm on 6 platforms. I used to be on Donald Trump's like Truth Social, but then they ran me out because they didn't like the fact that I'm a libertarian and they only wanted like diehard MAGA conservatives. So I'm on that. I'm off that. But I'm also on Blue Sky because I like to I like to watch and keep an eye on what the left is doing, sort of like becoming an intelligence outpost. So I'm on that. So it's 7. Okay. The fact is, I'm on so many platforms. It's hard to cancel me. It is. You try to get me on X, I go to Gap, I go to MeWe, I go to Minds, I go to like what? Getter, Parlor, Blue Sky, okay? My apologies, and Rumble. Because you know why? If fucking YouTube decides to want to cancel my channel, I just laugh at them in their face and go, hey, I'm on Rumble, so you can't cancel my ass. My video's copied on Rumble, so there's nothing they can do. But like I said, guys, like I said, man, they've become nothing more than echo chambers. Yeah. And what's missing out in all this, guys, here's the part that everybody seems to be missing out. Okay. Online forums, Reddits, and Discords, what's missing out there is the connection. It's the basically being able to talk to another human being, okay? Being real with them, being personal, being upfront, instead of being tribal, clicky, and all this shit, okay? Instead of being all this shit, we should talk about being real to these people, okay? We should talk about like being like open with each other, being able to ask questions freely, okay? No matter how fucking stupid, no matter how fucking retarded, no matter how fucking idiotic it is, you should be able to ask a question regardless. And I've often had the saying, there are no stupid questions, only stupid answers. But then the problem is, people are so tribal, so clicky, so closed circled, okay, that just to ask a question, they give you the fucking dirty look. Like, really? It's like, this is why people have lost the art of communicating with one another. People have lost the art of being real. Okay? People have lost the art of having a normal discussion instead of being tribal, being clicky, being like closed circle, being their own echo chamber. People have lost out on it. They've lost out on that communication that to talk in real life or in person. They wouldn't even know what to do. They probably shit in their diaper, okay, or shit in their pants, which probably would force them to wear a diaper. But tell you what, guys, this is why realness, real discussion is lost in online forums, Reddits, and Discord. Real discussion. I'm telling you, this is why I long for the early '90s, okay? The early to mid '90s where we had coffee shops where if you wanted to have a discussion about something, you went to a coffee shop. You went to one of those like nice coffee shops in the neighborhood and you had a discussion on things. You talked about things. You were able to be open about things. But today, people have become so tribal, so clicky, so closed circled that what you say online matters more than what you say in real life. because these people who live and die on online forums, Reddits, and Discord have lost out on the human connection, have lost out on the human connection, and lost out on the ability to talk to people, to even have a face-to-face discussion. Instead, all these people that live on Reddits, Discords, and online forums have to talk to people through an invisible fucking brick wall. Whereas people like me, you talk to me in real person, you get to know me more than what you see on fucking online. What you see on fucking online is one thing, but what you see in real person is a fucking different matter. And the problem is with that, they lose that real discussion. They lose that real connection. They do. This is why I'm not a huge fan of online forums, Reddits, or discuss or Discords. I'm not a huge fan. I Ever since I got burned from that last one, I'm I'm not a fan of them anymore. I'm not. And this is and the reason for that, got burned, didn't have a real face-to-face discussion, didn't even have this and this. So you know what? I don't have all those. And you know what's the funny part? There is no there is no discussions, no this. There is none. Instead, there is like, oh, there's this. But this is why people have lost the art of communicating, the art of having a normal adult discussion. But instead, they use online forums, Reddit, and Discord as a leverage to talk to people. Whereas people like me, I want to go face to face. I want to see you, flesh and blood, having a discussion, having this, having that, having to say stuff without hiding from a computer screen. And that's the problem with that. People tend to hide so much from a fucking computer screen that they can't be real. They can't be original. They can't be who they are. They can't be this, and this because they got to have so many fucking brick walls in front of them in order to say shit. They literally do. They literally do. That's why I tell people, and I tell people this. They have to have so much online persona that being real scares the living fucking shit out of these people. Really does. That's why it's like this. They they literally have to they literally have lost their way, lost their mind, okay, and have lost out on having a real, genuine connection. They've lost out. Online forums, online groups, Reddits, and Discords, there's no real connection. There's no there's no real discussion. There is no there is no like there is no genuine like connection. There's only a there's only a computer screen in front of you and you're trying to have a connection with someone through a screen instead of shaking the hand, sitting down, having a cup of coffee, and having a discussion. This is why we're losing out on this shit. This is why we're losing out on the art of having a real discussion. And I miss those days where you can go to a Starbucks, to a local coffee shop, to a bookstore coffee shop, have a real, genuine discussion, have a real genuine connection. Okay, people who live in who like to go on online forums, Reddits, and Discord, they're losing out on that real connection, that genuine face to face. But instead, they're having it through a computer screen and persona, and they're missing out on all that shit. They really are. They really are missing out on it. And that's what scares them, okay? That's what's that's what literally scares them. All right? So here's the thing. I ditched online forums. I ditched Reddits and Discord. Here's the reason for that. It's because the last one I was on, which is what? Run by the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and the United States Coast Guard, which has its own Reddit and Discord, I got burned. I got burned. I got mauled, burned. I got I got running out so much that I can't even have a normal fucking conversation anymore. I got burned. I got punched in the stomach for it. Okay. I got bitched for it so much that now I was the straw that fucking broke the camel's back. That was the straw that broke the camel's back so much, ladies and gentlemen, that now I don't even want to see an online forum. I don't even want to see a Reddit or a Discord. I don't even want to touch them anymore. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even want to see them, because here's the reason for that is because look, they've become nothing more than echo chambers amongst themselves. They've become so exclusionary, so cliquey, so closed-minded, so echo chambered, so toxic that I don't even want to see them. They burned me to the ground. They burned me so much. They broke broke my straw and said, "We're done. We're done. We're completely finished. We're not even going near that anymore. We're not even going to touch that anymore." Okay? So that's why I sit there and I say to you people, I'm done with it. I'm completely done. So I just go like this. No more online forums, no more Reddits or Discords. Okay? Even if they offered me to start my own forum, Reddit page, or Discord page, I refuse. I refuse because you know why? There's no real connection. There's no personal interaction. There's no face to face. Instead, I just go on to my social media pages, my podcast channel, which I'm on right now, and my web pages, including my Substack and WordPress, and I'd be able to speak my mind, speak freely, and be able to say stuff without fear of being blocked, suspended, deplatformed. Yes, I'm on Telegram as well. Telegram is private and secure, and what's nice is that it erases my conversations in less than 24 hours, or any time I set, like say in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes. Yeah, but I'm on those, but I am never on Reddit, Discord, or online forums. I'm never on those because those places, ladies and gentlemen, have literally burned me, have literally said, like, yeah, you don't belong. And you know what that tells me? If I can't be truly me, if I can't be truly myself, and if I can't be able to speak my mind, say my opinion, espouse my belief in an online forum, Reddit, or Discord, then why the fuck do I need those platforms anyway? Those platforms should have died a long fucking time ago, along with MySpace and probably eventually Facebook as well. They should have. They should have, ladies and gentlemen. They should have. But I will say this, guys. I will say this. Here's my challenge to you guys. Here's my challenge. Log off of Reddit, Discord, and online forums. Log off them for a week, and I'll bet you'll see the world a whole lot differently. I will bet you, and I will bet my paycheck that if you log off of Reddit, Discord, and online forums for a week, you'll see a world. You'll see a world in a whole new light. You'll see the world differently than anything else. You'll see people having genuine discussions, talking freely, expressing themselves, and saying their beliefs and viewpoints without fear of being dogpiled, shit on, bitched at, or even run out. You'll see a whole new world. Whereas on people who are on like online forums, Reddit, and Discord, all you see is endless scrolling, endless toxicity. You see the dooms, you see the echo chambers, the closed minded, closed circled, clicky groups. You see that. But if you log off those places and ditch those places, you see a breath of fresh air. You see more than just what's said online. You see the whole fucking wide world. And you see that so much, ladies and gentlemen, that people out there will be able to go like this. Wow, there's more to this? Yeah, there is. That's why I challenge all you people. Get the fuck away from online forums, Reddits, and Discords. Because you know why? They've become nothing more than echo chambers of the left. They've become nothing more than echo chambers, endless toxicity, endless doom scrolling, endless like echo chambers, and endless clicky groups that you can't even get a fucking discussion going in society. You can't even get a fucking discussion going in the world. And this is why I tell people, ladies and gentlemen, get the fuck away from online forums, Reddits, and Discord. Get the fuck away from those platforms. Because those platforms are nothing more than echo chambers of the left. Those platforms are nothing more than leftist shitholes, leftist echo chambers, and basically closed circled viewpoints that just by daring to speak up, you get dogpiled, shit on, bitched at. And this is why in 2026, okay, and this should have been my New Year's resolution, but it's still a continuation of that, is that now I am done with online forums, Reddits, and Discords. I am completely done, completely finished with them. You will never see me on any online forums, Reddits, or Discord for the latter half of my life. Okay, I'm 50 years old right now. I'm completely done with them. I'm completely finished with them. You'll never see my fucking ass on any of those online forums, Reddits, or Discords because they become nothing more than echo chambers. They become nothing more than toxic havens. They become nothing more than havens for clicky groups. Okay, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm completely wiped. You'll never see me on any of them. And if you want to see me on any other platform, you can see me on X, my podcasts, my WordPress, my Substack, and all my alternative social media platforms. That's where you'll see me on instead of the shitty online forums, Reddits, and Discord who should have died a fucking long time ago and don't know how the fuck are they still fucking existing. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now.
You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.